waste to wealth, but at the same point, love nature. So whenever I see a fruit coming out of tree, I see it like a magic. Like how can a tree can make some like I can a nature can make something which is so delicious, good looking, and it just comes out of nowhere. And I'm like, how can I like I just love looking at it. But at the same point, I'm as I mentioned, I'm a waste to wealth enthusiast. I always see whenever I see a thing going waste, it disheartens me, and that's why I saw a big problem of food waste at the farm level. And I was doing my engineering, I did research, and I got to know it's a 90,000 crore problem at the ground level. Farmers are losing almost 90,000 crore every year in the food waste. And this thing can feed crores of people, hundreds of crores of people. And but at the same point, we are losing not just efforts of farmer, but at the same point, it's the economy which is going waste, and as well as a food, which is the most important thing. And that's why I saw there's an opportunity for me as a social entrepreneur to connect both my passion, nature, and the waste to wealth, and start Rahe Solar. So that's where the journey started. 7 years back, me and my mom started this company on the terrace, supporting creating an ecosystem where we designed a technology which is solar dehydrator, which goes to the farm, convert the excess produce into dehydrated products, and then we also help them in the training and the market linkage as well. And our products are being used by marketplaces like Hyperpure, Chayos, Farmlay as a raw ingredient. At the same point, we recently started our own food brand as well, Bear Fruit, because we saw a big opportunity. There's the the consumption of fruits is not there, and whatever fruits that we are consuming in the market is mango. The mango are ripen at the farm level, but they don't reach to the market because they will get damaged. And whatever mango that we're buying right now in the market, harvested green, chemically ripened, and we get it. So we don't get the actual flavor from the farm level. So we created the first innovation. It's India's first fruit bar. It is like 25-gram bar, which is 200 grams of fresh fruit, like almost 15 black grapes, half mango, half banana, nothing else, just farm ripened, and everything is coming out of those produce which otherwise being thrown away. We're working with almost 1 lakh farmer, converting their excess produce into a valuable stuff, and then selling it as an ingredient, but as a finished product as well into the market. So that, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Tell me, where can we find that? And what
So
are
this
you calling it?
So we call it bare fruit bars. It's like and the best part, there's no sugar preservative, 100% fruit. So it's like a first of its kind. We usually and there's three ingredients: no preservative, no sugar. You can find it on Swiggy, Instamart, Amazon, or website as well, where we are trying to push kids, especially who are going away. Because I have two, like not me, my uncle have two kids in my home, and they don't eat fruits. But when I give them this bar, they're like just eat two or three. But they are getting the whole nutrition which they need in a day out of just one bar itself. There's something which we are trying to build, which is supporting a farmer family, help them on better income. But at the same point, a good ingredient is coming in. Especially like when we work in Kashmir, we have seen farmer throwing away apples. When we work in Manipur, we have seen farmer throwing away those delicious pineapple, very small in size, so delicious, but they don't have market. In when you go to rural Orissa, you'll find elaichi kela. It's too premium in the metro cities, but in Orissa, farmers just have to throw it away because whatever local can consume, they do. If any vehicle come from the nearby city, they sell it. Otherwise, like it's a big challenge. So we're trying to build an ecosystem of this solar dehydrator on ground, which can process it and then convert them.
So, Varun, how many farmers have you been able to reach through your solar dehydrator?
So it's all more than a lakh farmer, 1 lakh farmer who have
Wow.
been supported by our mission.
Wow, that's huge. That's significant. And have you been able to map कि कितना उनका saving होता होगा? मतलब numbers
Yeah.
में?
So till now, with our farmers, we have saved almost 10 crore worth of produce from going waste. And it's just a start. We just build the model, but it's a long way to go. It's almost 9,000 times more than what we are doing right now. So we keep on doing, keep on supporting more farmers so that we can reach and support more and more.
Yeah, but this is significant, 1 lakh farmers and 10 crores in saving. And also now you're also coming out with products which are pure without preservatives. और वो जो waste, एक तो waste बचता है, उसके अलावा जो बचता है, उसका you're also coming up with, I'm assuming, D2C brand, right?
It's more of a D2C.
Yeah, this is brilliant. What would you like to ask everyone who's listening to you right now?
Like I always like to ask like where product is coming from, you must ask, and always see your wrapper. You will always find 30 to 40 ingredients out there, and mostly are not Indian. We should support Indian products. Like we also started revolution against dates as well, because dates is coming from outside India. India is biggest manufacturer. So how banana cannibalize banana, which is a core ingredient. India is the largest producer of banana in the world. How can banana replace date which is coming from outside? Same thing, tomatoes are coming from Italy and Turkey. India has tomatoes. Why we are buying sun-dried tomato from outside? We can make our own. So that's the ecosystem we are trying to build. Make Indian farmers empowered and use Indian products. That's a priority.
Brilliant, brilliant. You are Bharat ke innovators, and congratulations to you and to your mother. Like we would have loved to see her. Where is she? Is she around?
She's in the factory, so she is the creator. She always like to create things. So she's not a person who wants to come out. She's like, let me create because that's my forte. I want to keep on. It took her 2 years to develop this bar without sugar, without preservative. I keep her the constant. Whatever you do, just do it without preservative, so that we can actually give the good thing. Because and without sugar at least, because we have a tendency to have sugar in the candies and all. Now we are making a bar which is without sugar, not even a stevia or any alternative like which are out there, artificial alternative. We don't want, everything should be natural and coming from the nature, 100% natural product. And Indian, most important.
Again, name the product. You had named it. What do you call it?
It's called Bear Fruit Bar, Bear Fruit.
BARE, bear.
Yeah, BARE, fruit.
हाँ, सो बेर फ्रूट हम सब ट्राई करेंगे एंड हेल्दी रहेंगे, फिट रहेंगे, और बच्चों को ट्राई करवाएंगे. मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली, दिस इज ऑल मेड इन इंडिया प्रोडक्ट विदाउट प्रेजर्वेटिव्स. बट मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली, फूड हमारे देश में जो वेस्ट हो जाता है एंड प्रोड्यूस, यू आर प्रिजर्विंग दैट. And
Yeah,
that is a huge thing in a country where there is still so much of disparity when it comes to food on
yeah.
the table. Yeah. Varun, very proud of you and very proud to have you as Bharat Ke Innovators. Let's keep chatting and let's see what we can do. Yes, together.
Sure. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining. This was brilliant. Now we have next. Who's coming next? Let's see.
Hi,
Rekha.
Shradha.
Hi. Thank you for joining, Rekha.
Thank you for having me, Shradha.
Yes. So tell us your story.
So, Shradha, I'm a army officer's daughter. I had a lovely upbringing, traveling across the country, studying across army schools, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and then during then I finished my MBA, and then I was in consulting with Big Four in US, India, Australia, and then came a time which changed the world for everyone, which was COVID. And that's the time I saw that people were struggling to even find basic things like concentrators and medicines. And the reason for that was that the backbone which runs the entire world, which is international logistics, completely broke down. Why that happened was because, Shraddha, there is absolutely no automation in logistics. So the travel industry that we all know is, to give you a context, is 60 years ahead of logistics industry. In cargo industry, there is absolutely no automation. People work on Excel sheets. And that's why when COVID happened, people did not know how to book their trucks, how to contact the shipping lines. And that's when I thought that, I've had a very comfortable life, but if I can put my learning to a product where it can benefit the larger group, then I think this is the real, something that I can give back. And that's with this vision I started iCargos.com, which is a logistics international platform, which basically integrates, point A to point B. And on our website, you can book your shipments, containers, like how you can, one can book courier. So that's the experience that we are giving. And I'm very happy to say that we are also aligned with the mission Indian government has, which is to bring down the logistics cost in India, bring in the efficiency by 50%. And also what they want to do is bring India to top 25 countries by 2030 in logistics performance index. So that is where our company is working towards. The vision and mission of our company is aligned to the national logistics policy of Indian government.
Brilliant, Rekha, and so required what you are doing. So अगर सबके लिए, अगर if I had to say your solution, एक example से if you can tell कि पहले क्या था और अब आपके
Right.
product से क्या change है.
Right, to give you an example of a common person, like for example, you want to renovate your house and you want to have furniture from Malaysia. You would want to have a lot of things, maybe a fancy bathroom, a modular kitchen, or some furniture. These are, we are talking about luxury things, but the same example can be used for basics and necessities also in our country. Now if one wants to really import something or export, a farmer wants to export, then they really don't know from where to start. What are the laws? Who is going to help with the exports? What is customs going to say? Should they use a shipping line? Should they use the airlines? And it's an absolute chaos. People don't know, and they go to the first next store which is available. So this is very similar to what used to happen in 1960s. If you had to book a flight, you would just go to the next agent that's there. There may be better options or better flights available. So now what my company does is we have a website where one can go and book a cargo. You can say that, oh, from Malaysia, point A, I want, this much furniture in a 20 feet container delivered to my house, which can be done by my company, versus, a situation where people struggle and to find the right partners. And that is
Brilliant.
how the cost is also much higher. So we bring in transparency, efficiency, and also bring in reduce the cost.
So cargo site. So if
Yes.
we have to look at the whole logistics, अगर import करना है या export करना है, actually it's such a practical problem that you're solving, because बहुत बहुत जगह लोग कहते हैं कि हमें करना है, कैसे करना है किसी को नहीं पता, but अब हमें पता है कि cargo site से करना है.
Especially the new young, the companies, new SMEs. Government is pushing so hard to give, push the SME sector. But then when it comes to imports and exports, they really struggle. And we are very happy to support about 4,000 new startups.
Wow, wow, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah. So वो भी limitation नहीं है that if I'm not a large scale exporter, then that's not a
Anything
challenge.
from 100 kgs to full container to a full vessel.
Brilliant. So we are coming to cargo side. Rekha, this is very required, much needed, and hats off to you that you thought of solving a problem which is around us, but yeah, we didn't solve it before. Congratulations and thank you for being भारत के innovators. हम बहुत सारी चीजों में काम करेंगे एक साथ, and and let's take Bharat innovators global. Yes.
Of course, and I totally believe in the Indian story, and my message to everyone is always to work towards building India great and greatest.
Yes.
Once again, we
Yes.
were always number one, but now it is time that all of us again work together and make India what it was about 500,000 years back.
Yeah, and this kind of drive from people like you also, मतलब ये है ना, ये है difference India के बारे में. Optimism, hope, and this confidence. So thank you for doing what you are doing, and look forward to being in touch. Yes,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
sir.
Rekha.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a
Yes,
good day.
you too. Thanks. Next we have Pankaj.
Hi, Shradha.
Hi, Pankaj. Yes, tell us your story.
First of all, thank you so much for bringing me here. It's an honor to be here and sharing our story with you all. See, actually, our as a very normal career journey, I was into offshore industry. My co-founder, second co-founder, Siddhant Agarwal, he was also into offshore industry. We were well settled in Singapore, and that was way back in 2015 when we learned that government of India has set a target of 500 gigawatt of non-fossil fuel energy to put the India on the path of progress and prosperity. Then a problem came. The problem was that to install this scale of the projects, the solar projects, there is no sufficient land in India. And all the lands, most of the lands are agricultural lands. So because being from the offshore background, we realized that if we could do something on the water body, where we can utilize the unused water bodies, which is in abundance in India, that can serve this purpose and it can solve one of the biggest challenges of the government. And that's how the company Consolar started. We returned
Wow.
back to India We returned back to India. We started with a very small pilot project in a remote village of Assam. We did a small 10 kilowatt pilot project. That was a success. Subsequently, we worked on developing India's first megawatt scale project in Andhra Pradesh. And subsequently, all the government bodies across the country, they started realizing the benefit of this floating solar, where you don't need land, you save the land, and you also save the water. 1 megawatt saves around 60 lakh liters of water, fresh water by containing evaporation. So realizing all these benefits, a lot of government bodies in multiple states, they started coming up with these projects. And you'll be glad to know that today more than 600, 700 megawatt of projects have been installed across India, and India is on the global map in floating solar today.
Wow, congratulations, congratulations. This is innovation. Yes.
Yes,
Where
thank you
are
so
you
much.
based, Pankaj?
We are based in Delhi and Hyderabad.
Okay, okay. And where do and where do you see, like, is it government only procuring, or do you see private and corporate large companies also using your infrastructure?
Yeah, yeah. See, floating solar can be installed on all kind of industrial water bodies, all kind of ponds, lakes, reservoirs, dams, hydro dams. So a lot of steel plants, cement plants, refineries, they all have water bodies which they want to protect. Actually, they want to conserve the water. So you can imagine that it's so beneficial for everybody, for all the stakeholders, to install this kind of plants which save them the precious land and also save them the water.
Yeah, yeah. So how are you looking at scaling? I'm sure there's a huge demand for this.
You'll be glad to know again that Odisha has become the first state in India that has come up with a floating solar policy on the basis of the success of all the previous projects. So far, almost 45 projects have happened in India, and Consolar has done more than 25 projects across the country. And Odisha has become the first state coming up with 5 gigawatt or 5,000 megawatt of floating solar projects across all its water bodies, all the big dams. And similarly, other states are also coming up with this kind of policies. So it's going to solve, one of the biggest challenge of the and bringing in line with the vision of the government of India. So it's going
Yeah,
to be very big.
yeah. And for our country to be doing this at scale is so important.
Absolutely correct. Very absolutely
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah. What would you like to tell everyone who's listening to you?
See, I'm very much in line with the vision of Honorable Prime Minister to put India on the path of prosperity and progress to achieve the status of developed country by 2047. I strongly believe that Indians are very talented. If we all put very hard work with a focus, in the next 20-25 years, we can do a lot of things. You talk about sustainability, you talk about healthcare, you talk about education, a lot of things which is yet to be done. We have come so far since independence, but I still believe that if we all work together, like you are also doing a very important task of connecting the dots together, bringing all the stories forward so that others can also get inspired by this and put more constructive efforts towards their path.
या पंकज फ्लोटिंग सोलर ये तो मैंने आज पहली बार सुना है और thank you from all of us for doing what you are doing because this is so important. Everyone listening, we talk about clean India, clean and green world, sustainability, and you're making that happen. Congratulations, and to more scale from you.
Thank you so much, Shraddha. Thank you very much, and wish you all the very best. You all are doing a wonderful job of connecting the dots. That is so important in India. From academia, industry, government, everybody needs to work together. I think that if we all work with a dedication and a focus, we can achieve everything, anything in the world.
Absolutely, and thank you for being a Bharat ke innovator. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, next we have, yes, Maneet.
Hi, Shraddha. Thank you for getting me here. It's a privilege to be speaking to you, and you have been an inspiration for all aspiring entrepreneurs building for India.
Thank
So
you so much, Maneet. Yes, and I'm looking forward to listening to your story.
yes, my company Shreddha is called as Lalten. Lalten means lantern. We are a mission-driven company working for the laborers or tailors working in the apparel sector. You can think of my company as the cloud factory for apparels or an Airbnb for apparel factories. Today, I work with 180 factories, which are not my assets but owned by other people. But I operate them and get products out of these factories to domestic and international retailers. So
Interesting. This is a very new thing that I'm listening to. हाँ, so बताओ कैसे ये? How do you do this?
Shraddha, I come from Gujarat, Bhavnagar, and my grandfather was a tailor. He was running a small tailor shop. And whenever I used to go there during vacations, summer and winter, thoroughly loved to see what he was doing, what he was building, the kurtis and manufacturing in his small setup. But later I realized that he financially struggled, and my father became the first engineer. I became the second engineer. I did an MBA, got into Flipkart, and at Flipkart, I was part of Sachin's chief of staff. Along with him, launched the first Big Billion Day, the second Big Billion Day. And at that time, I realized that the potential for our country to consume is super large, right? Like on a big screen, you would see getting orders being placed everywhere. But I always used to think that manufacturing is also very, very large in the country. And I come from a small town. My other co-founder comes from Aligarh. My third co-founder comes from LFP. And all of three of us were at Flipkart. And we moved out of Flipkart to only dream to see how big manufacturing in India is. While our understanding of manufacturing was only in small pockets where we came from. So we traveled across the country, met more than 6,000 of these manufacturers, which are in small town, to understand that India has a huge production basket. Like India can produce literally $120 billion worth of apparels, but India hardly exports anything. India exports roughly $15 billion worth of apparel, right? And Bangladesh, the state of size of my state, Gujarat, exports $50 billion. And like I used to hate when we would lose matches against Bangladesh, right? And like why would cricket matches, right? And like why would we lose in front of the global ecosystem for manufacturing apparels? And the bigger problem, Shraddha, in our industry of apparels is that there are only some large players which are manufacturing for the world, but there's a huge long tail manufacturing supply across the country, even in small pockets, right? And these are not very small factories. They would be factories with 50 to 500 machines, but these guys do not know what are the right qualities, SOPs, merchandising procedures to reach out to the Walmarts, Tesco's of the world, right? So what we do is, and we are engineers, so we know technology better. So we have created tech assets to integrate these factories at the back end, know what production comes out of every single machines on these units, to create a larger visibility and give those visibility across to domestic and larger retailers globally. So today I ship close to 150,000 units of garments a month, and I work with 12,000 tailors, just like my grandfather. And the
Wow.
and
Wow.
yeah, and I want to make it this really, really big, because this is the time for India. This is a once in a generation opportunity for our country, because Trump has gone crazy with the tariffs, right? And the global retailers are also looking to hedge their risk to move away from a Vietnam, Taiwan, China, or a Bangladesh. And while we have a larger production capacity, but we fail in execution, our country fails in delivery, right? So our country would need a layer on top of it on the manufacturing, and that's what we would do to become an emphasis for manufacturing in this decade for apparels. And
Brilliant.
we want to make apparel really, really big from India, actually. Yes.
You know, this is so innovative, and I'm so proud that you're Bharat ke innovator, and we are getting to talk to you now. Tell me one question I have कि अभी तक हम इसलिए नहीं स्केल कर पाए हैं क्योंकि one is inefficiency, दूसरे जो छोटे manufacturers हैं उनको पता भी नहीं है, they don't even know how to export, right? So that also has been a challenge.
Correct, Shraddha. Shraddha, correct, Shraddha. So I think the challenge is, you know what, not on demand side. It's not a demand constraint problem. It is supply constraint problem, actually. And demand globally is very, very large. Definitely finding out buyers for small retailers is tougher, right? But the bigger challenge is how can the supply be much more predictable, so that even if a global buyer wants to touch base with a small factory in India, they can get their goods on right time and the right quality. And that's a bigger challenge here, because to be very honest, Indian manufacturing has not been very professional. Like in India, manufacturers on the long tail side would want to cut corners to eventually earn more margins or like do some jugaad, right? But that doesn't work for a global ecosystem for retailers, right? And that's why they always go to a Bangladesh or a Sri Lanka or a China. I think quality SOPs across merchandising, production, integrated all of this through technology to get a better visibility, to make this at much more efficient and at scale, is the need for these small manufacturers. And I think and the manufacturers are super supportive in that, because their core job is to fill their factories. Their bigger problem is that they run underutilized for most of the year. And India is a kurti manufacturing country, right? And why should we only make kurtis? Like, why can we not make garments and good silhouettes for Brazilian or American markets or European markets there? While the machines or the factories or the assets on the factories are very similar to what these can also be created. So that's what we do.
दिस मतलब इसको मैं क्या कहूँ, ब्रिलियंट क्योंकि 12,000 tailors, right, on your platform, and you are exporting how much? You said
150,000 pieces a month.
150,000 pieces a month. This is so big for the textile industry. This is so big for the apparel industry, and I think sky seems to be the limit for you. So emphasis of manufacturing, ये मैंने नया सीखा है. Or this is innovation, and we are very, very proud of you, an engineer who's enabling actually manufacturers, tailors, apparel providers and across the country. And your grandfather would be so proud of you.
Yes, my company is called as Bhagwan Das Retail, and I named it on his name because I want to make this really, really big for all the tailors across the country and be the light for all of them, right? Like as Lalten for them.
Yeah. और भगवान तो देख ही रहा होगा इतना पुण्य कर रहे हो. It's a good cause also, right? Because how long can we say that, hey, someone else we are not doing that well when it comes to exporting? Yes, brilliant. Yep. Let's be in touch, and we'll get in touch because we are going to all these local places, and so we will count on you to enable a lot of people whom we would be talking to. And very proud to have you as Bharat Ke Innovator. Thank you.
Thank you, Shradha, for the opportunity. Wonderful to talk to you.
Yes, thank you. Very nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, next we have Santosh.
Hi, Shradha. How are you?
Yeah, Santosh, I'm very excited to listen to earthen tunes. So tell us.
So, Shradha, I'm Santosh. I'm one of the founders, co-founders of Earthen Tunes, along with my friends and batchmates, Nakul and Vidyadhar. So we are making India's first and probably the only footwear designed specifically for Indian farmers, right? So now you would often think that why do farmers need footwear? Don't they walk barefoot because they're in touch with Mother Earth? But that's very romantic as a concept. If you do spend time in rural India, you would find that actually farmers don't walk barefoot because they find it pleasurable. They walk barefoot because they don't have options, right? Mm-hmm. And we spent about 2 years in rural India. We interacted with almost 1,000 farmers. Of course, there was a lot of issues in the what farmers are facing, but the one which stuck to us is why are they walking barefoot? So that's what we're doing. We have impacted about 8,000 farmers till date. But the interesting part is also that this shoe that we have designed, it's called Yar. It is made from a traditional craft, a 1,500-year-old craft, which is basically weaving blankets. These blankets are woven by the pastoral communities. These are people who rear sheep, goats, and they have been using these blankets throughout the year in summer, winter, and rainy. So we got an idea whether this can be used for making shoes, and that's what we've used. So we are impacting both a craft and also farmers.
Wow. So this is from sheep wool.
Yes, it's from Indian sheep wool, and it has some amazing properties. Now, whenever I say wool, people often associate it with winters, but Indian wool is used in summers. We have tribes in Thar Desert who use it in summers to protect themselves from the heat. And in the Middle East also, there are Bedouin tribes which use 100% wool. It seems unbelievable, but you have to experience it. And also, these same blankets are used in monsoons as well by the pastoral communities.
Wow.
So we thought, hey,
Wow.
it's a great material. Why can't we use it for making shoes? And
This
yeah,
is so innovative. This is so innovative, so impactful. So, my God. मतलब इसको कहते हैं ना स्टार्टअप करना. अब स्टार्टअप करना और भला करना और इम्पैक्ट करना और इनोवेशन करना और इंडियन हैंडीक्राफ्ट को प्रिजर्व भी करना. मतलब सब कुछ करना. Like this is brilliant. Tell me what, Santosh, would be some of the challenges that you are facing as you scale this, as you grow this?
Yeah, I think one of the important things is right now at this point of time, footwear is not essentially seen as like a necessity from a conventional sense. In rural India, it is, but it's not perceived as such. And there's also a lot of apathy, considering we have assumed or we have concluded that farmers ऐसे ही रहते हैं, मतलब ये ऐसे ही फटे हुए धोती पहनते हैं, बिना चप्पल के चलते हैं. But I think it's very important that each one spends time in rural India to understand these problems. There is statistics to support this also. Like, so 1.5 billion people who suffer. And in extreme cases, they have snake bites also, which lead to death. India is, in fact, the snake bite capital of the world. Right? So our footwear go some way in providing this protection. Right? But like how in urban India, we have various shoe designs for various needs, Indian farmers also need a variety of shoes, and that's what we want to do. We want to create this whole range of footwear for Indian farmers. People from Kanyakumari till Kashmir, from Gujarat to the Northeast, they should be able to wear our footwear, in any sort of farms, any sort of farm conditions.
Wow.
So,
Wow. And what? How do you price this?
So for farmers, we give it anywhere between 150 to 700 rupees, depending on the kind of support we get. And predominantly what we follow is a cross-subsidy model, which we have taken from a brand called Tom's, where we sell a slightly premium version of the shoe in urban India, and we take a part of the profit and we subsidize the farmer shoe. So what we call as a Robin Hood model.
Yeah, very good, very good. And where can we buy your shoes from in urban India?
You should log into earthentunes.in and you will find the urban range there. But also, if any of the people who are in the audience who are working with CSR or willing to do something good for farmers, it'll be helpful if they can reach out. We have already done some CSR with ITC and Wells Fargo, where we directly donate. We identify the farmers, we directly go and donate the shoes to them. For example, during our last run, we donated to tribal farmers in Araku who are actually suffering because they work on slopes without any good footwear, where they grow pepper and coffee. Right, so I think there is huge potential for this, and yeah.
Yeah, Santosh, very proud of you. Very proud of you. 8,000 farmers, 8,000 farmers have shoes, and yes, it goes beyond the romantic movie में ये सब जो हम देखते हैं farmers वो actually जो काम कर रहे हैं हमारे लिए गर्मी में, बरसात में, विंटर में, you gone ahead and done something for their feet, and then that too using sheep wool and handicraft जो 1500 साल पुराना है. God bless you, all the very best. Very proud of you as Bharat ke innovator, and we will figure out what we can do together. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Shreddha, for providing this platform. Thank you, means a lot.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so next we have Vivek.
Yeah, hi Shradha.
Hi, Vivek. Please tell us your story. और इसको pronounce कैसे कहते हैं? Maral?
Maral, yeah, I will tell you the story behind name Maral. Maral means Hans in Sanskrit. So Hans is Vahan of goddess Saraswati. So that's how we are a solar UAV company, solar powered UAV company. So that's how we have named the company as
Wow.
Maral.
See, we learned something new. Maral. हाँ, तो बताइए, what are you doing in Maral? Yes.
So we are a deep tech IIT Kanpur incubated startup. We primarily design, develop, and manufacture fixed wing UAVs, which are solar powered. So the problem, if you see the Indian forces, it is both for defense as well as civilian use case. But I'm just giving you an example. Traditionally, the Indian UAV companies offer drones which have a endurance of max up to 2 hours. Very few, which can offer you 2 hours of endurance and a range of 20 to 25 kilometers. So from the ground station, the drone can fly for 2 hours up to a range of 25 kilometers. So this may not be sufficient, seeing that India has vast land, marine borders, you see, and the round the clock patrolling required. So what we are offering, so we have inculcated this solar power in our drones by the help of which we can fly for up to 12 hours for a one-way range of 150 kilometers. So from the ground station, I can go 150 kilometers and come back. So you have effectively a diameter of 300 kilometers you can cover, and a total operational range of around 600 kilometers plus our at a altitude of 5 kilometers from the mean sea level. So we can reach up to 5 kilometers from the ground level. We have designed the system for 6.5 kilometer altitude, but initially we are testing it at 5 kilometers. So this will be strategically helpful the Indian forces for their ISR operation, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance operations, maritime patrolling. Then you can just search and rescue missions, disaster management, pipeline inspection. So we also have offered our solution to HP Hindustan Petroleum in the civilian side, where we will be doing the pipeline inspection. So they have cross country 6,000 kilometers of pipeline. So that the drone what we have designed is a 12-meter long wing. It's a big fixed wing. It's a 12-meter long wingspan and 4-meter long body. It can carry a payload of up to 5 kg. The payload can be anything. It can be a EO, IR, and LRF. EO is electro-optical, IR is infrared for the night vision, and LRF laser range finder in case you want to detect a laser source. We are incubated at IIT Kanpur. Our R&D office is inside IIT Kanpur in the Technopark building. We are working on the mentorship of HOD Aerospace, Professor GM Kamath of IIT Kanpur. Our advisor is Dr. Ajay Kumar. He is the ex-defense secretary and current UPSC chairman. Yeah.
Vivek, brilliant. Like, what should I say? We are so proud. अभी तो drones तो हम सब समझ चुके हैं. क्या है drones? Now all of us in the country know, and how important it is, and how important it is going to be in not just in like surveillance and different things, but it's going to be a very key component in how the geopolitics of the world also moves. And what you built is so innovative. Now tell me something that अगर मैं कहूँ rate करने जो हम बना रहे हैं इंडिया में, or what you are making compared to some of the most advanced technologies in the world, where are we?
We are right. We are India's first solar UAV company. I forgot to mention my friend CTO, Dr. Vijay Shankar Dwivedi, who did this drone during his PhD time and in IIT Kanpur only under Professor A.K. Ghosh and Professor Kamath. So he has been instrumental in this idea. We have already flown this. Now we are making the market-ready product. In the Indian scenario, we are India's first solar UAV company. In the global scenario, we are there is a company which have in France. So we are second to them. There is no other company who is working in this domain as of now.
Congratulations. मतलब हम deep
one more feature which I wanted to tell you. You see that what happens, the drones right now operating in the border areas or marine areas. So wherever line of sight communication is not there, LOS is not there, what happens? So we are a support to the current drones fleet also. So when line of sight is not available to our drones and GPS is not there, the drones normally do not operate, or they fall down because because line of sight in the valley, it's impossible. So our type of drone, beside it multiple application, it can be also act as a radio relay, since it has that power of remaining in air for 12 hours, or it can be enhanced. If we use a higher grade satellite grade solar cell, it can go up to 24 hours, or a hydrogen fuel cell. We will work on the second model also, which will be operational round the clock. But what happens, we carry a radio relay and establish a communication network for other drones to operate. So they are always connected. We are at a height and we are giving that telemetry connectivity to them, so they're always connected to their base station and they can perform their mission. So apart from we performing the mission, we also can help help the other drones to perform their mission, irrespective of whether the connectivity is there or not, line of sight is available or not.
दिस इज ये तो बहुत ही मतलब बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है. This is critical, and also basically you can also be a partner to different drone players.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I don't want to say more except that all of us listening to you, all of us are so very proud. And the other thing which I was mentioning is that हम कहते हैं deep tech नहीं बना रहे हैं, but ये है ना deep tech तो बना रहे हैं और deep tech तो बन रहा है. Tell me to scale this, इसको grow करने के लिए और ये सब, what is the kind of wish, support that you would want?
Currently, we have received from funding from HPCL and you can say IIT Kanpur itself. So we are okay right now that our first prototype will be ready. We can cater to initial 5 to 10 numbers of requirement, but to scale up, we are looking at around you can say $4 to $5 million in the next couple of years, and also to initiate work on so our next project will be high altitude pseudo satellite. So there we are seeking around $8 to $9 million. So that the discussions are in various stages. So pseudo satellite, I'll just tell you the concept. Pseudo satellite is it's a solar UAV only, which can fly in the stratosphere for 90 days. So basically, it's a solar UAV which will take off from the ground, position itself in the stratosphere, which is 18 to 30 kilometer of altitude, where the you can say the atmospheric pressure is almost nil. Air density is very thin, and the temperature variance is also minus 45. So we have already done our initial design work, and we are awaiting funding to do that. And it can carry around 15 kg of payload. So it basically something which is it is a replacement for geo satellites which are flying at 35,000 kilometers. Which can fly in the stratosphere or for almost carrying the same type of payload, same type of camera at 18 to 30 kilometer altitude for 90 days. So one more thing I wanted to add. So we have added one novelty in our design. So what happens that the sun rays are always not, you can say vertical. So sun is always slanted. So we have kept a provision where we will fly slightly slanted, and we have introduced, and when we fly little slanted, what happens towards the sun's intensity? So what's happened? We encounter a lot of drag forces, which reduces our endurance. So we have introduced an additional control surface called Oxyron. It's a patented technology which helps the drone to navigate those drags, so to drag forces, which counterbalances and helps it. So the Oxyron is something which will keep the aircraft tilted towards the maximum intensity of the sun, so that by endurance enhances. So this is the additional control surface which we have designed and introduced in our fixed wing drone.
मैं सोच रही हूँ कि अगर हम कंटिन्यू करेंगे तो और बहुत ज्यादा इनोवेशन सब आते रहेगा, which you have done, very innovative and very required, and all the money that you are saying, I'm assuming now that should not be a challenge after what we all have seen and witnessed. So that and I'm sure a lot of companies would be talking to you now.
Yeah. We will also need your support if you can connect. And you all are welcome to visit our facility at IIT Kanpur. And in the next month, we are launching our market-ready product. So we will be doing the first flight trials of the market-ready product inside IIT Kanpur. We have a runway here, so we will do it and showcase it to the world.
Yeah, we will come and see you within a month. Yes. And yes, whatever we can do, we will do, because now you are a Bharat ke innovator, and we are so proud. And to everyone listening, मतलब हम जब कहते हैं deep tech, तो अब हम कहेंगे मराल एरोस्पेस और विवेक पांडे and the team. We have to talk about them because there are so many innovative things, and like he said, that some of the things that they are doing, they are the second in the world, and the other company which is doing is someone in France, some company. So this is actually innovation happening from India. Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Vivek. Very proud.
Thank you for your time. Thank you. Look forward to connecting to you.
Yes, we will. Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Now we have next is Aditya.
Hi, Shreddha ma'am.
Hi.
Thanks for
Aditya.
this opportunity.
Yes, thank you for joining, and tell us your story.
Sure. So this all started in 2017. I graduated as a mechanical engineer, and I wanted to work into starting something of my own. I was already working in a startup as an intern, and that is where it started. I'm not from a metro city. I'm from a very small town known as Cambe, which is at Gulf of Cambe, Khambat in Gujarat. So I came to Ahmedabad as a new person who was living and working, and that is where I was exposed to large dump sites like Pirana, which is in Ahmedabad and the outer rural areas, and that is where it all started. So it instigated a thought process about the waste management, and what is being happening in the waste. And I came back and I talked with my few of my cousins who were living together. We were working into different companies, but then we were staying together. छोटे गांव से आते हैं तो उस तरीके की माइंडसेट होती है कि साथ में रहेंगे, कुछ कर दिखाएंगे. So that is what it was all about. Then I bounced off the ideas to all my cousins and everything. And then one of my cousin, which is Sudhir Shukla, who is also co-founder and CTO of the company, did got interested and started that let's do something. I'm not sure what we can do right now, but start something and I will help you in doing that. So pehla year I was working because मैंने internship छोड़ दी सब कुछ. I was not earning anything, so Sudhir was earning, and he was taking care of all the finances. So we started working on. So what we essentially do is we have been solving a problem of waste. So when I say waste, we have developed a technology-driven recycling process which can process mixed plastic waste, which is after post-consumer use. जो आप अपने घर से कचरा निकालते हैं प्लास्टिक वेस्ट का, जैसे कुरकुरे, वेफर पैकेट्स, मल्टीलेयर एंड लैमिनेटेड, इसको हम सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक बोलते हैं. इसका रीजन ये है कि 95% ऑफ दीज प्लास्टिक लूजेस देयर वैल्यू आफ्टर द फर्स्ट यूज. मतलब उसका आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते हो बिकॉज ये मल्टीलेयर है, कॉमिंगल्ड है, एक से ज्यादा टाइप्स हैं, इसको रिसाइकल करने की बहुत सारी चैलेंजेस हैं, कॉस्ट इकोनॉमिक्स नहीं बैठती है. सो इसको एक्सट्रैक्शन नए मटेरियल से करना ज्यादा आसान होता है ना कि पुराने मटेरियल से, व्हिच इज रिसोर्स रिकवरी इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. सो दैट इज वेयर दीज मटेरियल्स एंड अप इन लैंडफिल. सो वी स्टार्टेड विद प्लास्टिक्स फर्स्ट. We went on to do CND waste. We went on to do industrial waste. So now we are a mixed heterogeneous composite material manufacturing company. So we call ourselves as a material science and technology company. What we essentially do is we take these kinds of waste, different kinds of different forms, do different recipes with our patented technology. We make products out of it. Now the products can be of different size, like block. You can have tiles. You can have sheets. These are like different products
Oh,
made
and
out
these
of
are
our
all from
technology.
waste.
Yes, these are all waste. These are all waste materials recycled and transformed into products. One of such very innovative product is this. This is a solar tile. This is made out of polymer composite material with solar as a integrated into it. So it is a built environment product. So आप energy generating building materials भी बना सकते हैं. So we have made this into a building integrated photovoltaic. So these are the kinds of product applications we have just scratched the surface. We're right now scaling it up. We have multiple granted patents in India. We have been awarded by Honorable Prime Minister for developing this technology under Affordable Sustainable Housing Accelerator from waste to building materials. So that has been our journey, like from 2018 to 2025. We have been like running through revenues. We are EBITDA positive. We have recently raised funds from HPCL. So like it has been a very topsy-turvy journey, but yeah, we had our fair share of
टॉपसी टर्वी जर्नी
challenge.
तो सारी जर्नी होती है, मगर तुम्हारी जर्नी तो कितनी शानदार जर्नी है. दिस इज सो इनोवेटिव. दिस इज सो वी आर सो प्राउड ऑफ यू एंड आई एम सो प्राउड दैट यू आर आर इनोवेटर, भारत के इनोवेटर. एंड आई एम सो प्राउड कि तुम छोटे शहर से आकर इतना मतलब ये जो बना रहे हो, जो कर रहे हो, ये तो पूरे सबको, ह्यूमैनिटी को इम्पैक्ट, मतलब ये है रियल इम्पैक्ट.
Absolutely. When we are talking about impact, I will just give you some numbers. So each ton of material we recycle. मान लीजिए 1 kg मटेरियल हम रिसाइकल करते हैं या 1000 kg हम रिसाइकल करते हैं, हम 1500 kg जितना CO2 एमिशन ऑफसेट करते हैं, मतलब हम रिड्यूस करते हैं. हम वाटर रिडक्शन रिड्यूस करते हैं. टिल नाउ हमने 52,000 लीटर प्लस वाटर सेव किया है, विच विल बी यूज इफ द कंक्रीट इज बीइंग रिप्लेस्ड विद अवर मटेरियल. सो अभी जब हम कंक्रीट की रिप्लेसमेंट प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं, हमारे में वाटर यूजेस नहीं, कोई सीमेंट यूजेस नहीं है. दीज आर जीरो सीमेंट, जीरो वाटर प्रोडक्ट. सो व्हेन यू हैव दिस काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट, यू आर एसेंशियली रिड्यूसिंग द रिसोर्स यूटिलाइजेशन विच इज राइट नाउ हैपनिंग फॉर अ सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट. सो अभी जो तरीका है जिसमें रैपिड अर्बनाइजेशन हो रहा है, रैपिड ग्रोथ हो रही है, वहां पे जो मटेरियल्स यूज होते हैं, जो लो कार्बन के लिए अभी हम जा रहे हैं, दीज आर एक्चुअली लो कार्बन मटेरियल्स. ऑल अवर प्रोडक्ट्स आर सर्टिफाइड बाय इंडियन ग्रीन बिल्डिंग काउंसिल ग्रीन प्रो, ग्रीहा बाय टेरी. वी हैव अवर ओन LCA डन, लाइफ साइकिल असेसमेंट. मतलब एंड टू एंड हमने बताया है कि क्रेडल टू गेट तक हमारा कितना एमिशन होता है और हम कितना ऑफसेट कर सकते हैं एज कंपेयर टू एनी अदर ट्रेडिशनल मटेरियल अवेलेबल इन मार्केट. We have international EPDs published. I have been fellow of Royal Academy of Engineering UK because of this innovation. I have been to Germany as a fellow of Indo-German Business Partnership Program. So this has been like overall thing. The technological innovations are there in India, and we are slowly and steadily scaling it up because it's a hardware and capital intensive business. It takes time, but definitely we will become next Dow Chemical in alternate materials and technology.
Brilliant. मतलब मन खुश हो गया. This is so good. And you know what I like is that your attitude, that you have this smile. Topsy turvy journey के बाद ये जो impact है, ये सबको देखने के लिए है. Waste जो हम waste रोते रहते हैं. मतलब
Absolutely.
of course we can have a session on that. Like that is
Yeah.
like there's a lot to do. उसको आज segregate, उसको recycle करके products बनाना और वो भी बिना पानी बिना कुछ यूज किए मतलब इन अ वेरी ग्रीन एंड प्रॉपर वे लाइक द
Exactly.
प्रोसेस
Yeah.
इटसेल्फ इज इफ आई कैन से an analogy of a word healthy way में सब कुछ करना
Absolutely.
मतलब आदित्य
Definitely.
शुक्ला तुम हो भारत के इनोवेटर एंड आई एम सो प्राउड मतलब मेरा भी मन खुश हो जाता है मतलब ऐसे ऐसे स्टोरी सुनकर एंड आई एम श्योर एवरीवन मस्ट बी चेजिंग यू टू गिव यू मनी इज दैट ट्रू
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. 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 But we are
Yeah.
choosing it very wisely कि किसके साथ हमें हमारा long term vision scale करना है. But yeah, definitely we have many offers on the table.
Yeah, all the very best. Let's keep in touch. Yeah.
Sure.
And please
Thank you.
congratulate your team also. Very proud of what you're doing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
for
so
the
much.
opportunity.
Thank you. Yes. Now next we have Nitin.
Hi, Shradha.
Hi Nitin. Yes, tell
Thanks.
us your story.
Thanks for the opportunity. So, I'm Nitin Srivastava, founder of Grinjan Environmental Technologies. Grinjan is basically a climate tech startup trying to decarbonize global industries and institutions through a unique microalgae-based carbon capture technology. So, in a way, we are trying to solve the larger environmental problem of climate change, which the effects you are seeing in terms of rise in global temperatures, you are seeing extreme weather conditions, floods, droughts, and and one of the key causes for this is the greenhouse gases, mainly comprising of carbon dioxide. And so we thought of capturing the carbon dioxide through through this biological route, the microalgal based route. And why this microalgal based route? This is from my college days. I was doing my master's from IIT Kanpur. There I did a thesis on microalgae based carbon capture. I developed
Nitin, you
a-
will have to explain to us कि ये micro algae carbon capture technology होता क्या है? You've done
Yeah, I'll
thesis, you've
explain
done
that.
master.
I'll
Explain
explain
it to
that.
us.
So the thing is microalgae. What is microalgae? We have seen microalgae. Microalgae kai बोलते हैं इसको. You might have seen in ponds, right? It's a simple microorganism. What it does, it takes up the inorganic carbon dioxide for its growth in the presence of sunlight, nutrients, water, and through the process of photosynthesis, it multiplies. So the thing is, for microalgae has high photosynthetic efficiency as compared to terrestrial plants. It can multiply faster. And the other good part with microalgae is you can develop multiple products out of microalgae. So you can have energy, you can generate cosmetics products, you can generate nutraceutical fish feed, you can have biopolymers out of the microalgae. So in a way it's a complete package. And so
तो
we thought
माइक्रो एल्गी का मतलब वो काई जो है जो हमें दिखता है
बिल्कुल
पॉन्ड ये सब के ऊपर जो
एग्जैक्टली जो
दिखता है
आपको पॉन्ड में दिखता है उसकी उसकी बहुत सारी स्ट्रेन्स हैं ग्लोबली. वी हैव सेलेक्टेड फ्यू स्ट्रेन्स. हमने कंसोर्शिया बिल्ड किया है which is capable of capturing carbon dioxide at scale in the industrial harsh environment. This is what we have done.
वाओ
So and apart from selecting the consortia, what we have done is we have also created a novel engineered platform, a cultivation platform, where what we do is we put the consortia of microalgae, whatever we have selected, we provide the nutrients, we provide water, and then we plug in the carbon dioxide. And then the carbon dioxide can be from two sources. One, it could be from the industrial stack emissions, which you see from many of the power plants, cement industries, steel plants, or it could be from the ambient air as well. And then once everything is provided to the microalgae, all the favorable conditions in the reactor, it starts multiplying. And in span of 70 to 80 hours, sufficient amount of biomass is developed, and that biomass is further harvested, and then that harvested biomass is further utilized in form of materials or in form of energy. We are also doing the storage of biomass in geological time frames. So what we do is essentially, if you say in terms of utilization, we are trying to reduce our dependence on the fossil fuel based sources. So right now, if I'm getting a material from a petrochemical industry, I'll be recirculating I will be basically upcycling the carbon dioxide and getting the materials from that route. Our thing is we are doing it end to end. We right now are working with two customers. We have Indian Oil Corporation with us, where we are deploying our first large scale plant. We have Engineers India Limited with us, the second one. We are also in talks with large scale industries because we see all of them have the requirement right now. The overall target we have set for ourselves is 1 billion tons of CO2 capture. The immediate target is for 2027-28 is 1 million tons of CO2 capture that we want to do through through the deployment of this technology. The other
Micro algae technology,
yeah,
micro
right.
algae, right? Carbon capture technology. This is so innovative, Nitin. Matlab
Yeah,
ye,
right.
listen, I want to ask you one quick question. Why didn't, like, is this like sort of a discovery, or is it happening anywhere in the world? Why did we do it so late?
See, every so if you search the web, you'll find that 2009 to 15, everyone in the US and Europe was thinking algae is the gold. Okay, so they were working on biofuels. Everyone was started working on biofuels, but then the thing was, many of the companies failed. The reason was they were unable to come up with a good cultivation design, and so they moved to product. So they are right now working on specific products. Reliance is a big believer in microalgae. They have a lot of products coming out of microalgae at the Jamnagar plant. You have Gas Authority of India Limited. They believe in microalgae in a big way. So it's coming up. There are other startups also who are coming up in this space. But for us, what we have done is we have cracked a design which is unique globally. So we can say that there's no such design, no such approach globally with very confidence. So that's the whole thing which we have done over the last 7 years.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wow. So proud of you. So proud of you. Abhi tak iska deployment, you are saying you are starting in
So
Indian Oil.
we are about to close the deployments in July, both the deployments. So one deployment is the industrial carbon capture. So for industrial carbon capture, they tie up with this with we have tied up with Indian Oil Corporation. For direct air capture, where we are taking the ambient air, we are deploying this at the Engineers India Limited Gurgaon office. So it's a large scale PSU where we are putting up a small standalone unit for carbon capture. That unit is equivalent to 100 trees, and that will capture the carbon dioxide, that will generate oxygen because of the process of photosynthesis, and at the same time also reduce NOx and SOx, because NOx and SOx is a parameter which is there in the air quality, so it will also improve the air quality. So that's what we are doing, and this is what we want
You
to
need
scale
to deploy
globally.
this in Delhi, no? You need to deploy this in Delhi, across
What?
Delhi. I'm saying you need to deploy this across Delhi NCR.
Yeah, right now, yeah, right. That's we are also working towards deploying this in Delhi and NCR. They're facing the air quality crisis is always there, so we that's one of the market where we want to deploy. But yes, you capture carbon anywhere, it has a effect globally. So if I'm capturing Kanpur, Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, or anywhere in the world, it has a effect, global
Yes.
effect. So
Yes.
we want to not limit ourselves to the Indian opportunity. We are also looking for global opportunities in coming years. Yeah. And we're based out of Kanpur. Our team, everything is in Kanpur, and our R&D, our team, and our workshop, everything is in Kanpur. And this is how we're looking to scale to higher capacities, scale our impact, and in coming years.
नितिन, मतलब मैं तुम बोले जा रही हूँ. Today I'm like so happy, like such amazing startups, companies, so proud of you. Green engine, right?
Yeah,
And
great.
green engine. And again, to all of us, अगर हमें कहना है कि deep tech, clean tech, real tech, and micro algae carbon capture technology startup with a design no one in the world has, then green engine. And that's your story, and very, very proud. Thank you for
Thank you
being
so
there.
much, Shradha. Thanks for this lovely opportunity to showcase what we are doing here at Kanpur.
यहाँ
This is
मतलब
so
जो
good.
कर रहे हैं आप सबके लिए कर रहे हैं. मुझे तो लगता है ये सब स्टार्टअप, दीज आर द डीप टेक एंड डीप पर्पस स्टार्टअप्स.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
या
There's a
थैंक यू.
purpose behind what we are doing.
या इट इज पर्पस. ये तो मतलब हम लोग सबको सांस लेना ह्यूमैनिटी के लिए, मतलब दिस इज रियल इम्पैक्ट. या
Right. True.
या थैंक यू नितिन. ओके.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, see
Thanks.
you. See you. We'll be in touch. Okay, so now next we have Piyush and Shivam.
Hi Shraddha.
Hey,
Hi
yes,
Shraddha.
yes,
How are
tell
you?
us your story. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
good. Waiting to hear what you have to say.
yeah, nice. I mean, thank you first of all for this opportunity. It's great. I mean, your story is a great platform. I will start with the name. VECMOCON name is an abbreviation for Vector Motion Control. And we are a vehicle intelligence company for electric mobility. So if you look at any electric vehicle, there are 4 or 5 key compute components. And by compute components, I mean systems which have computers on board, which sort of controls and manages the performance of an electric vehicle. And these are the components that we design, engineer in India, and then we work with OEMs where we integrate these systems into the vehicle, and that sort of makes electric vehicle up and running. And then once you have these components inside the vehicle, it creates also a platform, a software defined vehicle platform, which helps in the wider ecosystem of electric vehicles. So um, because any industry, an EV industry would not just be a product, right? It would also require an ecosystem of post sale support and service, of financing, of insurance, of recycling, and all these platforms have to evolve through our analytics and our understanding of the vehicles, right, and the data that they capture. And the compute components that we design and engineer are the components which also becomes an interface for you to capture data from the vehicle. And also these also become the platform on which you sort of embed your algorithms to control and manage the vehicle. So this is what we do. And yeah, we have been doing this for a while now. It's I mean, we are in our ninth year. We started this in 2016. The first 3 years we were incubated in IIT Delhi, and now we are at a stage where we're working with leading OEMs in India, and we are also working with few companies outside India as well. Yeah, happy to take any questions.
या नो कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट. मतलब हम सिर्फ डीप टेक देख रहे हैं आज और बहुत खूब, मतलब वी आर वेरी वेरी प्राउड ऑफ व्हाट यू गाइस आर डूइंग. नाउ टेल मी समथिंग, वन वेरी प्रैक्टिकल कॉमन मैन क्वेश्चन मेरा है कि अगर मैं इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल बना रही हूँ और एंड टू एंड बना रही हूँ, तो व्हाई so do I, by deploying you, also give intelligence about my data and how people are using to you? And do you think, जैसे हमारा होता है ना e-commerce में कि सारा stack खुद बनाएंगे, हर जगह खुद बनाएंगे, so do you think OEMs would think like that eventually, or will they continue to use your platform?
So, Shraddha, आप किसी भी इंडस्ट्री में देखोगे, इवन इन आईसी इंजन्स, राइट? आई मीन व्हेन महिंद्रा designs a vehicle, उनकी गाड़ियों में there are multiple components where there are tier one suppliers which sort of contributes to their vehicle. MRF टायर बनाता है, अब कोई और इंजन बनाते हैं, महिंद्रा इंजन डिजाइन करता है, बट उनके कंपोनेंट्स और लोग मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं, मदरसन सुमी वायर हार्नेस प्रोवाइड करता है. ऐसे बहुत सारे टीयर वन इकोसिस्टम है जो इस पूरी गाड़ी के इकोसिस्टम को, व्हीकल के इकोसिस्टम को कंट्रीब्यूट करता है. So we are one of the tier one suppliers to OEMs, and this is how the industry functions. Uh, the Of course, your aspiration can be, you can be as much vertically integrated, but the problem being too vertically integrated is it becomes a very costly and expensive proposition, and then time to market also becomes difficult. And for any technology to excel at that technology, you need to go a little deep, right? You have to invest yourself in that particular aspect, and you have to go really really deep to actually start building core value. And that is where it always in any industry become a tier one OEM sort of relationship, where OEMs starts designing the vehicle, defining what the consumer wants. They build a platform for distribution and marketing and dealerships, and the backbone of any OEM is essentially the tier one suppliers, their vendor partners, who sort of contributes to them with all the components that is required in a vehicle.
Tell me, how has the reception been with all the companies, and how are you planning to scale?
No, it's been great. I mean, we have been working with large OEMs since in India and also outside India. And because electric vehicle itself, the industry itself is quite new. It's a sunrise industry. So the industry itself is evolving. In fact, we as a country have been dependent on some of the key technologies used in electric vehicles from China and other geographies. And now, because there is also, we have to applaud the government as well for that vision where they wanted these key strategic technologies to be developed in India for homegrown independence. And that is where we are engaging with these company, engaging with the government also, and sort of building these technologies in India. And these technologies also are being championed by our Indian OEMs as well.
Yeah, yeah. Piyush, Shivam, if you had to ask people listening to you today, what would you say? What is it that you'd like to say? What is it that you'd like to ask? Because again, deep tech, what you are solving is, yeah, like, अगर मैं इसको equivalent कहूँ, I can't call it a SaaS platform in EV space, right? Like, what would
No,
you call this?
no, so Shraddha, that is the challenge, right? हम टेक में और इंडिया में कोई भी स्टार्टअप जो है वो सॉफ्टवेयर एज अ सर्विस या बिजनेस ऑपरेशंस के अराउंड इवॉल्व होते हैं. There are not many hardware deep tech startups that sort of come in India, right? But in past few years, you have seen that momentum building where you have companies like Ether Energy, you have companies like Ethereal Machines. These are core deep tech hardware companies which are building for India in India, and not just for India but for the world.
Yeah.
वो वैसा है कि हम we have huge talent of engineers, right? There's no dearth of engineering talent in the country. It's just that the ecosystem that needs to be there for that talent to sort of show what we can do, that ecosystem is now evolving. And we are getting that momentum, and then more and more venture capital funds, more and more capital now is being available for hardware deep tech startups, because generally the kind of capital that the ecosystem needs is a bit more patient capital. And that is what we are seeing now, Shraddha. So we are
Yeah, but
headed in
Piyush,
the.
it is also entrepreneurs like you, right? Who are दो चीज कर रहे हो तुम. You are also paving way for a lot of engineers. Of course, you will have a lot of engineers working with you. You building that ecosystem, and you're also building that conviction in investors that ये हो सकता है, इसका adoption हो सकता है, scale हो सकता है. So yes, yeah. So I will call you the hardware deep tech hardware platform.
Yeah, I'll not discount that, Shraddha. I mean, we need hardware product companies out of India building for the world. क्योंकि जब हमने शुरुआत में चालू किया था तो हम बोलते ना जर्मन इंजीनियर्ड प्रोडक्ट है, जापानीज इंजीनियर्ड प्रोडक्ट है. So nobody says कि Indian engineered product है, and we actually have a huge talent, huge. I mean, there's no dearth of Indian engineering talent. हम ही लोग बाहर जाके बहुत अच्छा प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं. तो why can't we do this in India? And now the ecosystem thankfully is evolving, and we a lot of companies in the hardware product sort of hardware product business are scaling and getting the attention. So yeah,
We are
kudos
going
to
to
us. And
say that Vecmon, Vec,
Vecmocon.
Vecmocon.
Vecmo. Hmm. It's an abbreviation
Vecmocon.
for vector motion control. हाँ, मुझे पता है
Yes,
थोड़ा.
Vecmocon. मतलब हमारे जैसे तुम्हारे के लिए तो नॉर्मल होगा, इंजीनियर हो तुम, मेरे लिए टफ है. तो Vecmocon is
नहीं नहीं.
made in India, engineered in India product, and we hope to see it across the world. And in the next few years, it should be across the world. And yes, when we go, then we can talk about this. Yes. Thank
Awesome.
you to both of you for shaping and paving and making the way. मतलब
Thank
तब
you.
तक
Thank
हम
you.
कहें, like I love what you said कि ये इंजीनियरिंग जर्मन इंजीनियरिंग है. क्यों ना हम कहें कि ये इंडियन इंजीनियरिंग है when we have the best engineers. Yeah. Yes,
Awesome.
thank you. Let's be in
Thank you.
touch, and we will keep in touch, and we will keep tracking what you guys are doing. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we have, one second, let me check. Kalpit.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Shradha. Hi, how are you?
Good, Kalpit. Tell us about what you are doing with Aperu Energy.
Yes. So first of all, thank you so much for this platform. And yeah, to tell you about Apiro Energy, I founded this startup with two of my best friends back in college. I graduated in 2020. And in 2019, we stumbled upon this idea of building wind turbines that are complementary to solar. Right now, you've seen with the lots of policies around the government and with PM Saurabh Yojana pushing solar on pushing solar and empowering solar on every residential rooftop, every commercial rooftop, right? So one gap that we saw, solar is only there for like 6 to 7 hours a day, and you need hybrid solutions, wind, geothermal, etc. solution to actually complement those non-solar hours, right? And that's when we started working on wind turbines. This is again the fourth year of our running, and what we are doing at Apiro Energy is we're building the core tech stacks, right, from designing the blades using the complex 3D CFD models to again working on the power electronics to the deployment, bringing out the EPCs, bringing out the installation and commissioning steps by step procedure and everything right now over here in India. And we are also one of the few companies, just like few companies in India, to work to build this core tech stack from the fundamentals. And again, like handful of like 15-20 companies around the world working and building such a solutions.
So,
Our
Kalpit,
vision
मुझे
is, yeah.
sorry,
Yes.
बोलो. Sorry,
No, no,
sorry,
please go ahead.
बोलो.
Please go ahead.
No, no. So now I want you to break this for a layman.
Yeah.
अगर इस मतलब अगर मैं बात करूं कल रोड पे अपेरो एनर्जी के बारे में तो मैं क्या बोलूं?
इट्स वेरी सिंपल मैम. अगर आपके घर में अगर सोलर है, राइट, आपके घर में सोलर है, सोलर से आपको सिर्फ 6 घंटे की बिजली मिल रही है, हम आपको सोलर के साथ में विंड टर्बाइन भी दे रहे हैं. तो सोलर प्लस विंड टर्बाइन से पोटेंशियली आप 24 घंटा बिजली जनरेट कर सकते हैं. यू कैन हैव अ सोर्स वेयर यू कैन जनरेट क्लीन एनर्जी 24/7 थ्रू आउट द ईयर. दैट इज व्हाट यू. और उसमें विंड टर्बाइन जो एक कोर कंपोनेंट बन जाता है, जो कि स्मॉल विंड टर्बाइन इंडिया में आज तक कोई बना नहीं रहा था. That is something that what we are building, and we
Wow.
are working with a lot of companies in the region to actually scale our solution. The market is very new, but the market is very huge, and we are building foundation right now to get to that market, to get to that customer.
Wow. This
Yeah.
is this is again real impact, ground level impact,
Right.
solar level, surface level impact.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would tell you. So we have done many pilot projects. One pilot project that we did was installing a 10 kilowatt of wind and solar in a remote village in Maharashtra, near around 60 kilometers from Mumbai. That village still didn't had electricity connections in 2024. And when we set up our wind and solar hybrid system over there, it was the first time that during the monsoon season of last year, the village was still powered by the help of our turbines and by the help of our solar panels. And we surveyed close to around like 10 villages in Maharashtra and in Coimbatore, where those villages were still not connected to grid electricity. They still don't had grid electricity. They had solar panels. Somebody donated solar panel, but that's not the solution. You need to have a locally sustainable grid, microgrid structure, where again the villagers, or where again the local residents have an aim or have a benefit of maintaining that microgrid themselves and utilizing it. And that's what we are doing. So our again core thing that I personally and my team that we want to do as an engineer graduated in 2020, we want to create impact from our creation of wind turbines. Like, grid independency is something that we push forward to. That was the vision of our president, our beloved president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam also. And grid dependency at an individual level, that is what we are also pushing. And yeah, if I talk about the technology more, so again,
No, this is very impressive. Very, very impressive, very impactful.
right.
Congratulations. Very proud of you. Continue, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you so much. So from the technology standpoints, technology is something that's been there for like 20-25 years. There are small wind turbines in India, but what we are actually doing is we are working on a specific category which is called as vertical category. Now, again, there's a very bad notion in the industry right now. A wind turbine for if suppose you want to put up a wind turbine on your house, right? So on your house you need a wind turbine that functions at a very low wind speed. If you're considering Mumbai, you need a wind turbine that functions at 4 meter per second. So you need to build the technology at 4 meter per second, and that's where the challenge is. You cannot get efficiencies at 4 meter per second. You cannot get efficiencies from HAWTs at 4 meter per second. That's where we built upon. Again, ours is based upon thousands of hours of 3D simulation that we did on ANSYS, thousands of hours of field testing that we did in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and other places. And we are very proud that we come. Our aim is to actually compete with the likes of Stanford startups like Explore Energy, Wind Harvest, C12, which are building grid scale projects. And what we want to be again is the OEMs for IPPs, for EPCs, for small wind turbine technology, kind of like the Suzlon for small wind turbine. That's what we want. That's what we ambition to be right now as a major technology developer. And yeah, it's 4 years of operation thanks to my co-founders who've stuck with us. Deep tech space is definitely hard. I think everybody talked about that, how hard is the deep tech space. But yeah, I'm really the last year deep tech science, which came out last year, and it really talked about that gestation period for deep tech to actually come in, the 3 year cycle or the 4 year cycle that companies need, and the kind of support that they need in the initial level. And that's really fascinating. And I mean, when we started off, there were some very favorable policies, but not specifically targeting those. But yeah, deep tech science policy sort of targets those areas as well. So there are a lot more interesting times to come. And yeah, Piro Energy will be very much participating in those interesting time, building the name for ourselves, and like providing electricity to almost each and every individual here in India, uh, working towards the energy independence at a social level.
कल्पित, बहुत ज्यादा प्राउड फील करती हूँ और अच्छा फील करती हूँ, और जो कह रहे हो ये एक रियलिटी है दैट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल स्टिल डोंट. That's a fact that we forget, we ignore, and you know it doesn't come because right now we are in some big cities where it is there, and solving that, and not just that, but you're also solving 24/7 solar energy, green energy, सबको मिले, और मतलब हम as a country we become more sustainable, the future becomes more sustainable. And that you're saying that the small wind turbine that you're making is the innovation, it's the innovation that we need. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And hats off to you for bringing this up. This really helps. And I've seen
No, now we'll keep bringing you up everywhere. We'll keep talking and showcasing. We have to like talk about innovators and builders like you, right? And talk every day if possible, because that's just one we have to feel proud about entrepreneurs like you, because it takes so many years to do what you're doing. Yeah.
Right.
No, we'll keep chatting. Thank you for coming today. Thank you. Okay.
Thank
See
you.
you. Yeah. Thanks. Next we have Siddharth.
Hi Shraddha, good afternoon.
Hi Siddharth, where are you joining from?
I am based in Chennai. I am taking this call from Chennai as well. Yes.
Okay. Yes, tell us about NeoMotion.
So my name is Siddharth. Like I said, I'm a co-founder at NeoMotion. NeoMotion is basically a design and engineering company. We design mobility products for persons with disabilities and the elderly, so that they can live life to the fullest. Basically, two problems that we are trying to solve here. First problem is of customizations of mobility solutions. So today, most of the wheelchairs that you see, 90% of the wheelchairs that are being used are one size fits all. मतलब आप इमेजिन करो कि 10 लोग कमरे में बैठे हैं, सभी 10 लोगों को 14 नंबर का जूता दे दिया है, and everybody is forced to sit, use a 14 size shoe. Now the problem is that while your foot will go into that shoe, it will be very difficult to walk or run with that shoe. So what we do is we customize our wheelchairs. The product is called NeoFly. So NeoFly is a customized wheelchair which is made according to your body measurements, according to your diagnosis, so that you sit on your wheelchair comfortably, you are able to move this around comfortably. आप कम स्पेस में भी इसको आसानी से लेके जा सकते हैं, आप ज़्यादा डिस्टेंस कवर कर सकते हैं with just a single push of the wheelchair. So that is one side of what we do. The second part is of outdoor mobility. आज अगर कोई व्हीलचेयर यूजर है, आज somebody is on a wheelchair, for them to go outside they need to take someone's help. किसी को लाके उनको उठाना पड़ता है, गाड़ी में बिठाना पड़ता है, ऑटो में बिठाना पड़ता है, फिर किसी को व्हीलचेयर फोल्ड करनी पड़ती है और व्हीलचेयर को अंदर रखनी पड़ती है. So because of all these steps, all these barriers, most wheelchair users end up not going outside. They are simply trapped indoors. घर पे बैठे हैं, टीवी देख रहे हैं, घर पे पढ़ रहे हैं, घर पे काम कर रहे हैं. They are not going outside. So the product that we have is called Neo Bolt. Neo Bolt is a scooter attachment to the wheelchair, to the NeoFly. आप इमेजिन करो एक बाइक का फ्रंट व्हील है, आप उसको लाते हैं और अपनी व्हीलचेयर पे लॉक कर देते हैं, बैटरी को ऑन करते हैं और ये just like any other scooter, you can use this on the roads. You can go to school, you can go to college, you can go to an office. There are more than 600 people who are doing Zomato deliveries on the wheelchair. So this is what we do. Apart from this, we have some more products that we have started in the last couple of years. Wheelchairs for children with disabilities, with cerebral palsy, with other impairments. We have a standing wheelchair called the Neo Stand, जिससे आप बैठे बैठे व्हीलचेयर पे आप खड़े हो सकते हैं कुछ भी करने के लिए. आप किसी से बात करना चाहते हैं तो आप खड़े होके उनसे बात कर सकते हैं, आप उनसे खड़े होके हैंडशेक कर सकते हैं, खड़े होके आप नेशनल एंथम गा सकते हैं. So for a person on a wheelchair, they actually stand up. That is a product that we launched very recently. So overall, in the mobility space for persons with disabilities and the elderly is what we do.
Siddharth, matlab, God bless you. This is so innovative. This is using, like, honestly, like, let me just say that I also didn't think of this, right? क्योंकि एक स्टैंडर्ड एक साइज का होता है और रिक्वायरमेंट सबका अलग होता है. So purposeful. This is actually using design, technology, innovation, hardware, mobility. मतलब ये जो तुम solve कर रहे हो, this is like everyone listening would agree with me that this is very noble, very purposeful. Tell me, what got you to do this?
So our journey started at IIT Madras, which is our alma mater. So मैं और मेरे co-founders, we all studied mechanical engineering at IIT Madras. And there is a lab in IIT Madras called R2D2, which is Rehabilitation Research and Device Development. It is headed by Professor Sujata Srinivasan. She was the one who got us into this field. Like, she has a big background and history in assistive devices. तो शी वॉज द वन कि यार इंडिया में वो है नहीं अभी तक, वो सोल्यूशंस है नहीं. अगेन पीपल हैव टू, जस्ट लाइक द प्रीवियस फाउंडर्स हु सेड, जर्मनी से लाते हैं, चाइना से लाते हैं, इधर उधर से आता है. सो कैन वी मेक गुड क्वालिटी कस्टमाइज्ड असिस्टिव सॉल्यूशंस इन इंडिया इटसेल्फ, सो दैट जो भी दिव्यांग, विकलांग एंड व्हाटएवर यू कॉल इट, उनको वो सॉल्यूशंस इंडिया में मिले, अफोर्डेबल प्राइसेस में मिले एंड गुड क्वालिटी में मिले. इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट मेकिंग अफोर्डेबल सॉल्यूशंस, वो एक्चुअल में उनके काम आना चाहिए, बिकॉज अ व्हीलचेयर इज लिटरली अ पार्ट ऑफ योर बॉडी. तो वो अगर उनके हिसाब से नहीं बनाई जाएगी तो उनको और प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं उसके कारण. So that's how our journey started. We met close to 200-250 wheelchair users across the country in different parts. We understood the gaps, we understood the challenges, और उसके हिसाब से हमने NeoFly, NeoBolt जो हमारे पहले प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, फिर उसके बाद Neo Stand, कब, वैसे करके. So आज के दिन it's been close to 5 years since we are in market, and we have 6,000 users who are using our products, our wheelchairs today to go outside in the country.
मतलब more than that, I'm also thinking कि सबको एक तरह से हम लोग सब as human beings till we are alive, we all deserve respect, right? We all deserve, मतलब वो अपना होता है जो external से ज़्यादा अपना feeling, जो अंदर का feeling होता है, and that अंदर वाला feeling is also something that you are accentuating izzat. Yeah, this is very, very purposeful, very proud. Thank you for being Bharat ke innovator, and this is the story we all have to share, talk and celebrate. Siddharth, very proud of you, and please tell your teacher, professor, that she got you guys to do this. That hats off to her also. Thank you.
Thank you, Shradha. Thank you for this platform. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll see you in Chennai. Last, before you go, where can one find all these products?
Oh, so we have our website www.neomotion.in. In fact, इंडिया में 50 शहरों में आपको डोर स्टेप टेस्ट ड्राइव भी हम करा देते हैं, और ये टेस्ट ड्राइव भी जो कराते हैं वो खुद हमारे ओन यूजर्स हैं. यू हैव अ न्यू मोशन यूजर इन नागपुर who can come to your house, give a demonstration of the product, not just give a demonstration but as a wheelchair user also give their own, share their own experience. मैं 2 साल से ये यूज कर रहा हूँ, मैं इससे आपके घर आ गया टेस्ट ड्राइव देने के लिए, आप भी कुछ भी कर सकते हैं इसके साथ. So that's the model how we use website and then giving test drives to persons with
Wow,
disabilities.
ये हुआ ना, ये हुई कहानी. Thanks. Good, Ayas. Wow. Yes, so we will, to everyone, please do spread word about NeoMotion. And Siddharth, thank you so much. Very proud of
Thank
you.
you, Shreddha. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you.
Okay, let's be in touch. Bye. Yes. Now next we have Tanuj. Yes.
Hi, Shraddha.
Hi, Tanuj. Yes, tell us about Planis.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. So I'm Tanuj, founder of Planis. And so we just heard Siddharth Daga, right? We are from the laboratory just beside him, Center for NDE at IIT Madras. So we started from there. Students building underwater robotic systems for advanced testing of infrastructure. So like India has a lot of critical infrastructure. India is very rich in fresh water, having 5,000 dams, 300,000 or 3 lakh bridges, highway, railway. And keeping these assets are very important because catastrophic failures happen. And we've seen a lot in the news lately of bridges going down and consequences of that. So Planis, over the last 10 years, we're a 10-year company, has built indigenously designed, developed underwater robotic systems and has innovated a lot on the testing technology that go on these underwater robotic systems to get information about concrete, steel, and different parameters that help asset owners take decisions for repair and maintenance. So Indian Railway is one of the biggest benefactors of this technology. So we piloted with them in 2018 and it's pretty much streamlined now. We've done about 250 bridges for them overall in India. And using this, they basically plan their repair and maintenance, keeping the bridge safe.
This is Tanuj, so important. I'll tell you my fear. जब ट्रेन से you cross, वो होता है ना जब cross करो गंगा पे, there is this bridge where when you go from Delhi to Patna, I sometimes wonder that this bridge must be like so old, and when the train shakes that ये healthy maintained है या नहीं. So basically at a practical level वो सारे जो underwater हैं, just the sturdiness, how they are, how that they are functioning, everything your technology checks and monitors.
Yeah, today it's done with divers which have several limitations in its ability, capability, safety, depth, and of course they can't carry a lot of sensors with them. So that's where robotics comes, unmanned systems come, and so on. Alternatively, we've also developed and repurposed these systems for defense use cases. So what aerial drones have done to the defense ecosystem, I don't need to explain over the last few weeks what we've all seen. There is great potential in the similar underwater domain space, especially because India has a very big coastline and it needs to guard it and save it. So that's where our technologies are being repurposed. So thanks to DIO and Ministry of Defense, there are a lot of IDEX programs, and we're part of that. So we've built, tested technologies, and soon they'll be deployed in live conditions whenever in the future. So that's for the helping India in internal defense capabilities, manufacturing, and eventually taking it there. So yeah, that's what Planis does. We started from IIT Madras, grew over the years. We were slightly ahead of our time 10 years back because in India it was new tech. But yeah, we've gone through that journey of iteration and customer satisfaction and taking it all the way. And now we are in 10 countries beyond India as well. So we've grown and we've scaled up.
Wow. Yeah, very proud. Tell me something, Tanuj. You've been in the deep tech and you built this deep technology. One thing that we can do as a country to, support, genuinely support innovators in the deep tech space? What can we do? Of course, we are doing a lot of things, but what can we do more?
I think technology adaptation has a lot of time it takes, right? Because the benefactors of a technology want to ensure it's fail safe. So I think one thing very important is um, users of these technologies have to be open to failure, right? Until that happens, you don't grow, right? So I think that is one big important aspect, that every hardware company, software company, the users have to understand that India cannot grow. Things have to fail, only then we progress, right? So I think accepting small tech failures is one thing. I think we have to be open to, from a client customer perspective. Of course, I'm not talking about product level pay, but helping companies have test beds is very important.
Yeah.
Abhi, where else will we go to test underwater, right? हम लोग को कहाँ मिलेगा 100 मीटर का डेप्थ टेस्ट करने को, right? So of course we have had support from industry, a lot of industry folks who've helped us. We also work inside refineries, so we have a lot of refinery owners who've helped us get test beds and so on. So to answer your question, I think more benefactors have to support technology development over its journey to get India the eventual benefit of what is to come.
So you're saying POCs करनी चाहिए, और क्योंकि तुम्हारे लिए भी जैसे rightfully so, government will become a key stakeholder, right?
So access to test beds is one very big important factor for success of the technology, because you can't build something from scratch and hope it will work the best, right? It's an iterative process. So
yeah. Tanuj, very proud of you. Thank you for being Bharat Ke Innovators, and we will be in touch. And what you are doing is so important for the country. And जो तुम कह रहे हो उसका redeployment जो अभी कर रहे हो वो ocean में भी होगा. We are a country with big coastal lines, so great. Thank you. Very proud, and we will be in touch. Oh, I can't hear him. But yes, so that was Planis. Now next we have is Saurabh. Hi Saurabh. Tell us about SP Agro Innovations. You are on mute.
Oh, okay. So myself, I'm Saurabh Kadam. I'm co-founder of SP Agro Innovations. So we work specifically for farmers, and we are bought and grown up in farmers' family. So we SP Agro Innovations also have a co-founder named Prasad Deshmukh. So SP is the initials of our name, S Saurabh and P for Prasad. So currently we are into development and building innovative farm mechanization solutions which are need based. Currently there are many farm activities which don't have such type of farm like implements or tools which can cater the needs. So currently Indian farmers, maybe they are deprived from all these technological solutions because our farm size is very low. So currently we are into development of specific type of implements for onion crop. Currently in our area means it's in Rahuri Tehsil in Maharashtra, which is, if everybody knows Shirdi, place Shirdi. So very near to that place. So we are working for finding out that mechanization solutions for the onion farmers. Currently we have developed a range of seeder machines. We have developed a very flagship product of ours is Plantomate. It is a transplanter machine which can be attached to a tractor, which plants onion saplings into with a great precision. And what happens with using this transplanter is the farmers can enhance their yield, the farmers can enhance their post harvest quality, and also the most important thing is when women laborers are engaged in all the farm activities, they are prone to drudgery, they are prone to hard work. So this is what we are seeing, that bringing some smartness into this hard agricultural activities, I can say. And similarly we are working into this field finding out some solutions for many farmers if they have their a problem statement. Like we have a problem statement of silkworm rearing farmers. They want to harvest these mulberry leaves very early in the morning, and very early in the morning there is no farm labor to work in. So we have devised a machine for that purpose also. So we have multiple problem statements, and we are very well connected to the ground, so we can surely we can see what the ground reality and ground problems are. Yes.
So Saurabh, I have a question that ye jo onion, that what you said, if the sowing of the onion and it gets tied to your machine, to the tractor, and you can do that. Have you tested that and seen the impact of it?
Yeah. We from 2020 we have rolled out our machines for the use of farmers. Currently, many farmers in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat, even overseas farmers from African countries and some farmers in Mexico even, they are using this machinery to enhance their productivity in terms of labor, in terms of the per acre yield of the final produce onion, and also enhancing their post harvest quality. So the impact is likely social impact we can call is that drudgery free environment for the women laborers. The economic impact is that the farmers are getting more income from what they are investing. So these are two type of impacts what we are seeing.
Saurabh, hats off to you. Matlab ki sabko pata hai. When you imagine, the other, I don't know if you heard the one who's making footwear for farmers. But the other thing is that when you imagine a farm, and if anyone is going and crossing, you see women working in heat, labor, intensive labor, so that you're solving or yield bhi badha rahe. So this is innovation, and this is real innovation, and congratulations to you. And this is, matlab isko kehte hain Bharat ka real innovation. So thank you for doing what you do. Now tell me, what would you like to ask everyone who's listening to you? Is there something that you are looking? Is there any wish, or you'd like to tell us something?
So whatever we are working into is like whatever technology and technology. So owning and technology will require some capital intensiveness into it. And what we are targeting are the end users are farmers, and farmers don't have the money in their pocket currently. So whatever is there, there should be a ecosystem wherein we can bring all the stakeholders together. Like government is also they are facing issues regarding onion. Onion is a very sensitive commodity to deal with.
Yes.
At the supplier end, at the farmer end, at the government end, everybody has to deal with onion in its own. So since history, we have seen that due to onion कुछ सरकारें गिरी है, ऐसे हमने सुना है.
नहीं, वही तो मैं कह रही थी जब तुम कह रहे थे कि पॉलिटिक्स भी अनियन बहुत डिसाइड करता है. हाँ. Yes.
Yeah. So we are working particularly into backward integration, means pre-production level we are working, and not post-production level. There are many people working in post-production, and a solution for a problem as an onion, it can be solved only unless and until we don't see the pre-production level problems of the farmers particularly. So I think solving that problems can solve the overall issue of the onion. The supply chain and everything can be dealt with.
मगर वो तो तुम अभी सॉल्व कर रहे हो प्री प्रोडक्शन, so people should
doing
come and support, join, and partner with you. Yes. So SP Agro, congratulations to you and to your co-founder. You are Bharat ke innovator. You are solving real problem. And we hope to see more innovation. और मेक्सिको से अफ्रीका हर जगह लोग यूज कर रहे हैं. तो keep growing and keep creating impact. Again, you're an example कि अगर अच्छा कुछ बनाए तो दुनिया में लोग यूज करता है. और Indian product.
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks, Saurabh. Let's keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, YourStory, for this excellent opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Now next we have Reema.
Hi, Shradha.
Hi, Reema.
Hey, I'm from Team Zigme. So we call ourselves the in between space between edtech and hr tech. There is an entire conduit that is kind of been missing so far. So we call ourselves the first career tech platform that we have kind of launched. All of these amazing entrepreneurs who've been working on these different projects, and all compliments to you and your team for giving them this opportunity. One thing underlining a common factor that they all need is people, and that is where I think we step in. Me and my co-founder Meenakshi, we come with about 20 years of experience each in the hr space and the hr world. And what we decided was we don't want to stick to the traditional way of hiring and the traditional methods of hr, which have been kind of doing the rounds for the last almost 4 decades since we know the function. So we wanted to productize whatever understanding and knowledge that we had about hr. And what we did was came up with Zigme. It's a product and an offspring of all the experience that we bring. And with Zigme, what we have done is tied up with about 5,500 colleges across India, where we are democratizing this whole placement process, which has kind of been, something where MBA colleges or the premier institutes have placements really. But the larger degree colleges of India, which really make up the entire Indian graduate story, that is something where placement teams itself are missing. So the last couple of years, we've actually worked with different colleges, instituted placement officers at their college in some cases, revived the placement process for them, in their colleges, and brought jobs from metros to non-metro and a lot of other.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think
to everyone listening, सबको पता है कि ये problem है, real problem है, and you are solving this thing. रीमा, मुझे एक explain, just if you can explain to me कि जो आपका platform है उसको use करके how is it like creating a differentiation, right? On a अगर एक college का example लेके if you can show. And one second.
Yeah, so for instance, let's take a college, let's say in Rajasthan somewhere, right? They have regular BCom, BBA, BSc courses. Now, when we go over there, and we've gone there about a year and a half ago, and over there, their students didn't even know what LinkedIn is, let's say, or they don't know what Canva is, which are tools which every person joining a workforce, be it whichever job you join, you would want to know. And they have aspirations. It's not like they want to get into the same village occupations that are there. They want to explore life in a metro. They want to explore lifestyle which comes with maybe urban employment. So they want to do all of that. So we actually go in over there, understand what level the students are at. Our platform has various tools. So we call ourselves phygital, where a lot of our involvement is physical, but the tools that we provide to them will be digital. The only difference will be that they will be handheld through this process. What happens is there is an information overload on the student side. There are courses and there are multiple courses you can take and multiple mentors you can reach out to, etc. But we actually handhold each one, get them into some level of preparation and skilling through the platform. But it is very, very personalized to each of the students. So our team kind of gets involved at a very grassroots level to ensure that 1 year later, when placements are actually happening, we can take companies from a Bombay and a Bangalore to this college instead of, so we also seed with the company the thought that placements need not just be restricted to your, city that you're in. So we've taken companies there and gotten them the jobs which they may not have had access to prior to this.
Wow, this is so, again, very purposeful and very required what you are doing. मतलब 1 साल पहले से hand holding मिलता है students को, personalization मिलता है, और and then you are taking the companies, and also it's useful for companies also, right? Because
Absolutely.
they find value. Yeah,
absolutely. Actually, because of our experience with the companies, we've realized that there's a crunch for talent. We all understand and recognize that. and no one has the time to filter out candidates. If I post a job on any of the platforms today, I get 600, 700 applications. I don't have the time or bandwidth to sit and filter out who's for me. So our platform gives an employability score. It gives the journey of that candidate, so you know how serious the candidate really is in terms of applying for your jobs. So that's where I think we have been able to kind of make a difference in the bridge that is there between education and employment.
Yeah, because everyone is talking about it. You are actually going ahead and doing that. So Zigni it is, and Rima, congratulations. Please keep doing this high impact, purposeful, और सारे students job हम सबको पता है कितना important है. So making that happen is very, very important. And to everyone, please look up Zigni and see how you can collaborate and work with Rima. And we'll be in touch because I see some potential where we also can collaborate. Yes.
Absolutely. I know everyone relates to what we are doing. You may be a parent, a business owner, an entrepreneur, whatever, a student, but everyone can relate and be a part of this movement that we're trying to build. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Shradha.
Thank you, Rima, and to Team Zigni. Thank you.
Thanks, Shradha. Bye.
Bye. Now we have Ronak. How many more we have? 1 second.
You're the last one, as far as I know.
Oh.
On the sheet, at least. It's there. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Ronak. So, yes.
It's been a long session for you, I think. It's been.
No, it's just that, I think Delhi weather gets to me and I'm feeling little. So, please tell me. Your name is only Respirer Living Sciences.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So thanks Shraddha for having this. And I'm Ronak Sutaria. I founded and I'm the CEO at Respirer Living Sciences. We are essentially a climate tech firm focusing on air quality monitoring and management solutions. So we build outdoor air quality and AQI monitoring solutions, primarily focused on industries and governments. So we were the earliest. So we launched this in 2015. We've been around for a little while. But as a startup, we launched in 2017 for a year and a half. We were a journalism-focused funded organization. And then in 2017, we became a private limited. So broadly, our work, focuses on doing hyper-local monitoring of air quality. And now we do it also for heat stress and heat monitoring parameters. Primarily to inform governments, government policies, and to an extent, industries and citizens. So essentially, you heard of the AQI term, it's all over the news, but it's at the back of AQI, it's made up of 8 parameters. There is particulate matter, PM 2.5, NO2, SO2, ozone, CO. We monitor all of them at a much, much smaller fractional cost than what the governments do.
So as a citizen, how do I access what you monitor?
So as citizens, we of course have equipment. So our fundamental belief in the work is that we believe in democratizing data, both on the generation side of the data that, right now, actually the government, just to give you an example, has about 520 monitors continuously streaming air quality data across India. So you as a citizen could go to the CPCB portal, with the government portal and access the air quality data. Delhi actually has 42 monitors out of those 550. So 10% of the entire network is owned by Delhi. Next is Mumbai, which has about 30. So you can imagine just the 4 or 5 metro cities have taken up more than 50% of the network resources. We believe that every citizen, we are 1.5 billion, 150 crore people. Everybody should have data coming from near to where they are. So right from getting the data relevant to you and accessible for free. So that's the whole philosophy over here. So we have a portal, atlasaq.respirer.in, where anybody can go and compare the air quality of their city vis-a-vis all the other cities in India, look at long-term trends. If you're trying to plan a holiday, you will know which are the cleanest cities in India on any given month. So it's a fairly deep analytical layer for understanding air quality trends in India. That's the outdoor work. And we put in as much effort in the built environment and on the indoor side also. So yeah, there are a lot of those stories around the world.
Yeah, but this is again so required. Tell me, Ronak, to like who funds this? Does the government give you funding for this?
So yes, we have actually the very 2017 we got a DST grant. So we started off as an industry partner to IIT Kanpur. While we were not incubated at IIT Kanpur, we've been industry partners to them now since 2017. And a lot of ministry and central government projects have been commissioned to IIT Kanpur with us as a industry partner with them. So the initial 2 years were funded by the government, DST being one of them. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare commissioned the PMUI, the Ujjwala Yojana scheme evaluation happened with this technology. So that's the context. Now, subsequently, we've raised some equity funding from HPCL and Ministry of Electronics and IT. So they have also taken some equity funding in the company. Besides that, of course, we have customers. I mean, we've been revenue making and cash positive from the first year.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we are about
That-
25 engineers. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a journey trying to stay positive, but that's where we are.
Yeah, but we are very proud of you for doing such a purposeful thing and also being positive, profitable. Tell me, like, who would you say would be your competition? Matlab, will government be also a competition?
On the technology side, see what has happened is actually the air quality monitoring technology has been existing for the last 20 years. Indian government has been procuring technology primarily from France and the US. So what has ended up happening is the entire policy actually has got, I mean, it is completely drafted to suit technologies which are coming from abroad, and they provide, let's say they provide 100% accurate data around air quality. We provide 90% accurate data, but the price differential is we are 1/20th the cost of what the European and the American technologies offer. So the question before the government is that do you want to aim for the 100% data point, which will cost you 20 times more, or can you build policies and decisions with 90-95% accurate data at 1/20th the cost? And we are a billion people. So just to give you a sense, the government equipment costs about 1.5 crore each. And so far 550 of those have been bought. So close to 1,000 crores has been deployed. We want to bring that cost down by a 20th, 1/20th of that, and actually scale it to 10,000 locations from the 500 locations, because that's what we
Wow.
believe. So for us, frankly, the competition is from the policy. And we've been breaking our head with the regulators and policymakers that 90% accurate data will get you 90% of the decisions correct. So are you willing to spend 1,000 crores for that last 10%, or are you okay with spending 100 crores and get your 90% decisions? So it's been that battle with the regulators is frankly where more than any other tech player is where we struggled, but we are getting there. Funnily enough, countries outside India have adopted this much faster. So we've just been invited by the Ministry of Mines in South Africa to come and present, and they want to use this. So
Wow.
other countries are seeing value.
Wow. And I hope our country also does that. And we have more than 500, we have more than, you said 50 cities, right, being monitored right now?
We have around 50, but we need to monitor close to 4,000 cities. So the gap is very large that we need to cover.
The respirer living sciences, we all have to root for this. Yeah, but again, it's a challenge because you are also challenging the status quo.
So just to tell you, last week, the Maharashtra and Mumbai government actually has finally adopted this. The proposals have been with them for 2 years, but the official regulations to use this for tracking down pollution at the per square kilometer level now is finally out. And so there are some cities, there are progressive cities who have been evaluating this for a year. I mean, I understand they need to be careful because moving from 100% to 90% and the little bit of whatever that creates. So the regulators, I understand their challenges, but Delhi has its political situation. That's why it's been slower in I think it has a very complex situation, but Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore are actually moving fairly fast ahead in some of these things.
Yeah, no, all the very best, because yeah, your startup has so many layers to it, and it's so important for India, for the 4,000 cities that you, and for all of us. So all the very best. May we have you in the country and in all the cities. Yes, thank you, and thank you for being Bharat K Innovators. We actually are very proud of what you're doing. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks for having me on the show. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, next we have, who is next? I think there's no one next. It is end. Oh, they ended. I'm alive or I'm ended. Okay, again, so proud. मतलब एक story के बाद एक story. We have deep tech innovation, like, क्या कहें, हम किसी से कम नहीं, और ये deep tech, deep engineering solutions and innovators we saw today. Please go through all these stories, please promote, please champion this, and that's how things will change, and that's how we will have more and more genuine, true, made in India entrepreneurs, defining what's best, not just for our country, but for the world. Thank you so much to all the entrepreneurs who came today, and thank you to everyone for listening. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next Saturday.